Next News. Breaking news.
Los Angeles is heading into a mayoral showdown, but this is no normal city race. This is a referendum on whether one of America's biggest cities still has control over its streets, its public order, and even its own priorities. Well, Mayor Karen Bass is talking about resisting federal immigration enforcement under President Trump. Residents are talking about human waste, open drug use, encampments in neighborhoods they say feel abandoned. And then came the poll. Then came the federal arrest. And now, with reports of burned mail ballots and a vandalized voting center, the question gets bigger. Is this just a race for mayor or a breaking point for Los Angeles? Now, here's why this matters far beyond Hollywood gossip, campaign memes, or whether Spencer Pratt is a conventional candidate. When voters in a city as large and as influential as Los Angeles start looking outside the normal political class, that's not random. That's a warning flare. It means many people no longer trust the people in charge to handle the basics: safety, sanitation, homelessness, and public order. That's exactly what we're hearing from residents, not abstract complaints, specific ones. They talk about stepping in human feces, seeing naked people in the street, watching open drug use at bus stops, living around encampments and disorder that City Hall keeps promising to fix. On top of that, Bass is now publicly signaling resistance to possible federal immigration enforcement as Los Angeles prepares for the World Cup, a moment when the whole world will be watching. So the issue is bigger than just a mayor. It's whether local leaders can keep order while the Trump administration pushes America First enforcement and blue city officials keep choosing defiance over competence. And while city leaders gamble with your future, smart Americans are asking a very different question. How do I protect what I've built? See, if you could go back in time and buy oil before the world relied on it, would you? Well, of course you would. Anyone would. So why aren't you buying silver right now? The people who recognized oil early didn't just make money. They got ahead of one of the biggest economic shifts in history. And today, a similar opportunity is unfolding with silver. See, silver is more than a precious metal. It's a critical resource used in solar panels, electric vehicles, defense systems, AI infrastructure, and the massive tech build-out that's happening right now. And that's why so many Americans are paying attention. My friends at Noble Gold Investments make it easy to learn more. Visit nextnewsgold.com right now. And depending on the qualifying account, you could receive a 1/10 ounce gold coin. That's nextnewsgold.com. Now, back to Los Angeles, because what voters are seeing on the ground is becoming impossible for the media machine to spin away. See, here's the twist the establishment really doesn't want you focusing on. See, these issues are no longer staying in separate boxes. Homelessness, crime, sanitation, and immigration are all merging into one larger judgment about competence. Karen Bass says the city will resist again. Residents say the city isn't even handling what is already in front of them. Then federal law enforcement arrests a CityLink so-called peace ambassador described as a convicted murderer and an active gang member. Well, that's not just bad optics. That's a brutal symbol of a city government many voters believe has lost the plot. Once that perception sets in, every new incident hits just a little bit harder. Mail-in ballots in Los Angeles being found burned and a voting center vandalized with just one day until Spencer Pratt's potential for an upset win. What a coincidence.
Vote by mail ballots were found burned inside a ballot box in Los Angeles just 2 days before the California primaries. Election officials discovered the damaged ballots and they filed a report with the police department. They say a separate voting center was also vandalized. Investigators are looking into both incidents and are working to identify any voters who have been affected. And the United States men's soccer.
Unbelievable. But what other tactics are they going to employ, right? Burned ballots and a vandalized voting site right before a possible Pride upside, and that's exactly why critics say the whole machine reeks. Now, James Wood zeroes in on Karen Bass as Spencer Pratt accuses City Hall of funding NGOs that hand out needles and crack pipes. This is exactly why Karen Bass must go. This and 1,000 other reasons. The overdose response team. That's what's rolling around Los Angeles. Handing out crack pipes and needles. Hey, there you go, buddy. Thanks. Free crack pipes and needles. Only in Los Angeles. Spencer Pratt, writing of the incident, Karen Bass and Neitha Raymond spent millions of your tax dollars on these NGOs to hand out fentanyl needles, crack pipes, and drugs to addicts on your streets to keep them high and homeless so they can profit off everyone's misery. Vote now. So it wasn't just a homeless failure, it was a money trail straight to the NGO rack, and now it gets even uglier. Federal agents arrested a convicted murderer, an active gang member who was being paid with LA City funds as a so-called peace ambassador.
A convicted murderer on the City of LA's payroll working as a peace ambassador has been arrested. Federal agents say the man was caught with body armor and allegedly admitted he was still an active gang member. Investigative reporter Eric Leonard joins us live from the newsroom with the latest. Eric.
Well, federal prosecutors shared the information about the arrest earlier today and highlighted this man's employment with a nonprofit that's being paid by the City of LA for its ambassadors who are supposed to try to prevent gang violence. The man charged here, Michael Angel Alvarez, was recently paroled after serving time in prison for murder, and the feds say phone records show he was still allegedly involved with crime. This is a photo released by the U.S. Attorney's Office of Alvarez after he was arrested earlier this month by LAPD officers near MacArthur Park. A federal criminal complaint says the officers initially detained him during a stolen car investigation, then booked him after he was allegedly found with a pair of armor plates used in bulletproof vests that can stop rifle rounds. The feds say he also had a business card showing that he worked for Healing Urban Barrios, one of the nonprofits contracted by Councilmember Eunices Hernandez's district that's north and west of downtown. The complaint says Alvarez was paid about $58,000 for gang intervention work recently, but they say he was still an active gang member. They say his cell phone number was tied to numerous recorded calls with other alleged gang members being held in LA County Jail. Alvarez was convicted of murder as a juvenile in 2002. He was released last year after serving about half of a 50-year sentence. The feds say he was also arrested a year ago with a weapon but remained employed as a city contractor. The councilwoman's office sent a statement that says Alvarez was removed from the Peace Ambassador program earlier this month and that he's never been a direct employee of the city. The councilwoman says gang intervention programs have been successful and says they won't be derailed by the arrest of a single individual. Alvarez is being held in federal custody. He's expected to appear in court Monday. I'm investigative.
Whoops. Whoops. So after hearing how the gang killer wound up on city-funded payroll, here's Bass telling you who she's really standing with. In this clip, she vows Los Angeles will resist federal immigration enforcement all over again. Our community will resist again.
Community resisted before, and our community will resist again, regardless of the World Cup. And I will be there standing in support of Angelenos, regardless of who they are, why they're here, when they came here. It doesn't matter to me. You're an Angeleno.
She's working those illegal votes. Well, Bass talks about resisting ICE. People living in the mess are asking a simpler question. What has she actually fixed? Watch LA residents unload on her record: homelessness, filth, fires, and one brutal line after another. Check this out.
Angry about LA.
Kind of smell like but it's high.
Homeless on every corner.
LA isn't a city, it's a public toilet at this point.
I don't want to walk to my car and go, oops, I stepped in human feces.
Actually, I'm not angry about LA. There's traffic, but it's been like that forever.
There's homelessness, but it's been like that forever.
Yeah.
Poverty, period.
The potholes.
What is Mayor Bass doing to solve these problems?
No, I ain't heard nothing. No change.
Nothing.
Still smell like I haven't seen none.
I wonder sometimes.
Who were you voting for?
Bass.
Right. Nothing that Bass has done, but you're going to vote for her.
I'm not even voting.
Does it matter? It really doesn't matter.
Spencer Pratt. Spencer Pratt.
We're going to have a Pratt Daddy summer, I'll tell you that.
He actually tells us the truth. He tells you the real hard truth of what's going on.
Karen Bass.
What is Karen Bass's greatest accomplishment?
Removing the homeless.
Yeah, she did a great job with that.
I believe so. Do you agree?
No.
Absolutely not.
It's been a year and a half since the Palisades fire, and practically nothing has been rebuilt. If this was a year and a half ago, I would be in someone's house right now. Did Karen Bass do a good job handling the Palisade fires?
Absolutely not. She wasn't even here.
She could have done a better job of throwing a ball from here to China.
She didn't do a great job.
So just so we're counting, can't name an accomplishment of Karen Bass, didn't do a good job in the fires, but she's still your girl.
She's still my girl.
Nithya Raman.
Never heard of her.
She says she has the solution to stopping wildfires, stopping backyard barbecues.
I'm African American. I'm whole black. We gonna barbecue regardless.
What? Now you can't do that.
Enough said.
Pratt says he just wants you to go get a matcha without having to step on human poop. Is that how low the bar is here in LA?
I have thrown away 3 pairs of shoes for stepping actual human feces.
You do have to watch your step. These people that want to vote for Karen Bass are ramen noodles. You want to step in poop?
That's all of us.
He says nobody is fixing LA's problems. Is he right?
I didn't see nothing get fixed.
He's right.
I look at Spencer Pratt, I see myself. I see somebody who has directly been affected by the leadership.
You can't solve everything overnight.
She's been mayor for 4 years.
Okay, touche. You got me on that one.
The point, right? So the voters torching Bass for doing nothing. The stories keep getting darker. Next one, man tells Spencer Pratt about a Northridge shelter where bodies were found in a cave with drugs nearby.
Hello, sir. Spencer, thank you so much for coming out here. Appreciate it. Fighting for us. I'm from the valley. The valley, and there's a lot of problems. I've seen at the bus stops, there's people with needles there, and there's actually a homeless shelter. It used to be a skate land. Now they made it into a homeless shelter. And I think 2 years ago, there was a dumping ground of bodies. They found like one body. Like there was a cave behind the homeless shelter. And
2 people have been found dead in Northridge in what firefighters have described as a cave.
2 bodies and a white powdery substance were found in what's being described as a human-dug cave.
Crews were called to the scene this morning, finding the bodies at a homeless encampment inside what authorities described as a human-dug cave with a white powder substance, possibly fentanyl, next to them. Now, they immediately called in a hazardous materials crew to investigate.
I just think it's a negligence from the homeless shelter, and thank you, and I really hope that you don't forget about the valley. Spencer, thank you.
So, after hearing the horror story from the valley, you can see why Bass is sweating. Now comes a number that has the city machine in panic mode. A new poll showing Pratt edging ahead in the mayor's race. It's happening. A shocking new poll shows Pratt leading Bass. Pratt 30.1% to Bass 29.5%. She's underwater by 30 points in her approval rating. So how are they going to steal this election? That's my question.
A new poll shows Pratt leading Bass in the race. If any of the candidates don't get 50% of the vote on Tuesday, the race will go into a runoff with the top 2 candidates. Joining us now with the latest on this race is Fox News correspondent Matt Finn. Matt?
Joy, candidate Spencer Pratt has run his campaign focused a lot on the homeless disaster along Skid Row and the dogs that are being abused there. And we're not far from Skid Row right now, where Pratt just wrapped up a neighborhood-style event hosted by Hispanic and Latino supporters. Spencer met one-on-one with dozens of Latino supporters who expressed their support for him with gestures and all types of supportive words. This was a block party-style gathering, and here's what Pratt told the group.
I just want people to feel safe. I want families to be able to thrive in the city, and it takes the whole city to actually change. I'm just going to be the voice of the community.
The mayor's race is considered wide open, and Mayor Bass is also campaigning all over the city this weekend to keep her job. We were at an SEIU union rally yesterday where Bass did not miss the opportunity to attack her opponent, Spencer Pratt.
We have a choice. Do we choose a TV reality star villain?
Or how about we just, or choose a real villain, right? A real life villain in Karen Bass, right?
Saying he was a villain and taking pride in that, but we don't need villains in the city.
Yeah, we've already got one.
And the governor's race here in California is considered another neck-and-neck competition with Democrats Javier Becerra and Tom.
So, what does it all really mean? It means the rise of Spencer Pratt is less about celebrity and more about revolt. A protest vote only catches fire when people feel ignored long enough to try something, anything outside the approved system. That's why the poll matters. That's why the street interviews matter. That's why the federal arrest matters. And that's why reports of burned ballots in a vandalized voting center land like gasoline on a city already full of distrust. And voters are asking a basic question. If City Hall can't keep sidewalks clean, can't keep criminal elements off city-linked payrolls, and wants to obstruct federal law enforcement while public order declines, why should anyone give the incumbent more time? See, that's the real crisis that Karen Bass is facing tonight. See, Los Angeles voters, they're not just choosing between names on a ballot, they're deciding whether failure gets rewarded, whether excuses beat results, and whether a city that should be thriving will keep sliding under one-party rule. President Trump's back in the White House, restoring law, borders, and sanity at the federal level. But cities like Los Angeles still have to decide if they want to work with that America First momentum or keep clinging to the same broken left-wing formula that turned public order into a punchline. The frustration that we're seeing, it's real. The anger's real, and if the political class keeps dismissing it, voters will keep finding new ways to send a message. So here's my question for you. Should Los Angeles reject Karen Bass? Yes or no? Drop your answer in the comments. Share this report everywhere. And if you want more coverage the corporate media will never give you, subscribe and turn on your notifications right now. But more importantly, see that number you see on the screen right there? 844-840-4963. Thousands of patriots have already texted the words raw feed to that number. They're bypassing the algorithm. They're getting the notifications that never arrive from YouTube. I set that up so you and I could always stay connected no matter what the algorithm decides. And it's America's 250th year. I want to celebrate with you. So check out the merch shelf below this video. Find something you like and let's celebrate together.
The system controls information. Information control is power. They don't want you to see this. The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now. You know out.